This week on The Real Review, we're going to be focusing on the Yarra Valley. Today we're starting off with 3 white wines, 2 Chardonnays and a Savagnin. They are, from the left, Seville Estate 2019 Reserve Chardonnay. Secondly is de Bortoli Lusatia Park Vineyard 2017 Chardonnay. And finally, just for something completely different, Soumah Wild Savagnin Solero No. 1, which is a non-vintage wine made from the Savagnin grape, not to be confused with Sauvignon Blanc. I'm Hugh Hook, and you're watching The Real Review. Seville Estate was begun in the 1970s, 1972, by the McMahon family, Dr. Peter McMahon. That's quite a while ago now. And in the meantime, the property changed hands at least twice that I can think of. And now it's not owned by the McMahon family, but the winemaker is the grandson of the founder, Peter McMahon, and his name is Dylan McMahon. This 2019 Reserve Chardonnay is made from the best barrels of Chardonnay that they produced in that year, 2019. So let's taste this wine. It doesn't smell dirty, it smells very, very complex and very interesting. It's like smoked charcuterie, that sort of thing, a little bit of burnt match perhaps. But behind all that, you've got the lovely grapefruit character of classic Yarra Valley Chardonnay. There is some oak there, some nuttiness from oak, but it's beautifully integrated into the wine and you barely even notice the oak is there. The intensity of the wine is pretty impressive, but it's beautifully focused and linear. It's not a broad wine, it's a very tight, focused wine built on its acidity. Beautiful acidity, really refreshing, mouth-watering, lemony, citrusy, touch of grapefruit, touch of mandarin perhaps. Beautiful, beautiful flavours. And it's very much the fruit and the acidity, not the artefact, the oak and the sulphides. The food, we've decided to recommend the fish carpaccio with this. And fish carpaccio is made of kingfish. It can be made of tuna, but a critical part of it is the citrus that goes with the fish. So you can have lemon, lime, mandarin, even pink grapefruit if you like. In the beginning, the Yarra Valley was all about the area around Coldstream, Lilydale, Yarra Glen, that part of the lower lying Yarra Valley. In recent years, especially for white grapes, the emphasis has moved from that low-lying area, which is largely under 100 metres above sea level, up to the upper Yarra, what we call the upper Yarra, which is more southerly, which is in the mountainous area, and the altitudes there can go up to 300-400 metres, and much cooler climate, much better suited for making white wines. And this wine, in fact, comes from that area. It's from Wurriyallock, and it's a vineyard called Lusatia Park, which was quite an established vineyard when de Bortoli's bought it a few years ago from the Shelmerdine family who established it originally. The Bouquet is very complex. It's got a lot of nutty characters to it, especially toasted nuts such as almonds, hazelnuts, and beautiful complexity. A bit of the smoky struck match character there as well, but it's very subtly done, very delicately done. And you can smell the classic grapefruity, melon and lemon characters of Yarra Chardonnay in the background. Let's have a taste. Wow, that is so refreshing and appetizing and stimulates the taste buds of the acidity and the refinement of that wine. The texture of it is very delicate, very refined, but intense. It's very focused on the middle palate, has great length of flavour. The acidity is wonderful. The acidity, you can tell it's natural acidity. It's beautifully, seamlessly harmonised into the flavour and structure of that wine. What did we suggest that you serve it with? We've gone for pappardelle with lobster and saffron cream sauce, which I think is the kind of luxurious dish that will go with this luxurious wine. So this is Soumah Wild Savagnin Solero #1. And it doesn't have a vintage. And they tell us on the back label it's a blend of vintages. I did ask them what vintages are in it, but I didn't get a reply. So I think they're trying to be mysterious about this wine, and it is a very mysterious wine. It's a fascinating wine. But it smells very complex, especially. I mean, it's got some of that character that you find in those wines from the Jura which have been aged under the sherry floor. The curious thing is it doesn't mention the sherry floor anywhere there or on their website. So there's a nuttiness to this wine which is really fascinating. It's a smokiness, a nuttiness, almost a cheese rind character, like the Parmesan cheese rind. It's just a very complex nose, and it's a very particular nose. It doesn't smell like any other style of wine. I find that very attractive. There's also a touch of the smoked charcuterie there, like imagine smoked chicken or something like that, those sorts of characters. And again, those flavours that you get on the nose come through clearly on the palate. So it's not a simple fruit wine. It's not just a matter of grapes. As a lot of Australian Savagnons are very much fruit wines. This is much more interesting. They've put much more effort into trying to build complexity into this wine. As the body of the wine goes, it's medium bodied, it's soft, it's dry. It's not austere, but it has a soft dryness to the palate, which is very appetizing and very enjoyable, very palate friendly. I really like this wine. We've suggested as a food complement, flounder with olives and lemon, which I think the complexity of that dish, it's certainly a fish type wine, but I think the lemon of the dish would chime in well with the citrusy flavours that are buried deep within this wine. It is a smart wine. Good health. If you've enjoyed this, follow us and subscribe to The Real Review.